welcome back to my channel. Today's video is definitely going to be a little different because I have someone with me today. So introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Austin.
Awesome. And Austin is here today because he is participating in this little challenge I did called, it's called basically Pick My Makeup. So Austin went through my collection. How'd that go?
I think it went perfect.
You think it went perfect?
It's exactly how I wanted it to go. I wouldn't change a thing.
Wouldn't change a thing. Definitely was not overwhelmed through any of the process.
I was very confident in every choice, and if it doesn't work, it's not my fault. That's how I see it.
So, there you go, guys. Heard it from him. So he picked all my makeup. I'm going to do a little bit of an interview style because this has been my best friend for a very long time, but I'll let him tell a little bit more about that. We've been friends for 10 years now.
10 long years.
Dang. All right. Just throw me under the bus there.
10
cool.
ancient. It's a 10th of a century, really.
Apparently, we've been friends too long.
Mm-hmm.
But he picked my makeup. I'm going to do a little bit of an interview because Austin has an interesting perspective on life. Mm-hmm. He is colorblind. We will go into that a little bit more. But I kind of wanted to see what he would pick for myself. Disclaimer, I did not let him, this is not to make fun. This is not to be like, ha ha ha, you can't pick color kind of deal. I made sure that he wasn't, set up for failure in the sense that, by the end, I would I wouldn't look good. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure that he was set up in a perspective where he wasn't going to fail. This wasn't a making fun of. This is just seeing from his perspective how life is for him and, how he would pick certain things based off of how they looked to him in his perspective. Mm-hmm. So before we get started, make sure to subscribe, comment, whatever you can afford. And if you're not a fan of my videos, I'll see you on the way out. Austin, wave bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so my camera was not working when we picked a primer. I'm not going to try and recreate it. So he picked the Centella Mixsoon Sun Cream with SPF. All right, so we're going to start with the first item he picked. So the first item he picked for us is the Centella Mixsoon Sun Cream. Let's see if we can get that. There we go, SPF 50. So I'm going to put this on my face while Austin tells us about how we met, how and where we met.
Okay, all right. We met in high school. It's always a bad story. No matter how I spin it in my head, this is always a very, not great story for my perspective at all. The way we met is senior year of high school. We had a conversation, and in it, and I don't know why, I still don't know why, I'd said this, but I called her fat. And then she snapped back at me, and I think you can say it better than me, but...
if you want me to say it.
You can say the line.
I can fix fat, you can't fix short.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's the friendship I want right there.
Yes, and we've been friends ever since. Remember, this was high school. High schoolers do stupid things, and we were no different than that. So I do not hold any grudges. Hopefully he does not hold any grudges.
How would I hold a grudge to you? That's to this day, I'm like, how dare you come back? Mm-hmm. I was being a dick, but how dare you?
I'm just saying.
But you know what's so funny to me is to me when we tell the story, it is, from my perspective, very embarrassing because there was no call for it, and I don't know why I said it. And to this day, I don't think I'll ever know why I said it, but maybe that was meant to be. Maybe that's how the friendship was supposed to happen, and it wasn't going to happen any other way.
And you know what? I don't hold anything. I don't have any malice over you saying it. Because it turned into a wonderful friendship and I had a good comeback. So how was I supposed to be upset? I threw back what you gave.
Yeah.
So I can't really I Can't be too mad about the situation.
And this is the longest lasting friendship I've ever had. And I've only done it to one person. So I think that's how everyone should do. You establish a really bad start, and everything gets better after that.
Hey, Shiva. Did you want to be a part of the conversation, too? So Shiva has joined us. But I'm going to clip right here, and we're going to go to what he picked for my brows. So these are the brow products I have. These produce color. These produce hold. So one shapes my brows, the other fills them in.
Okay, which one shapes your brows?
The gel.
Okay, and that one fills it in. Yeah, we'll go for this.
All right, so he picked the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pin, and then the gel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you pick both. Because I use both.
Okay. Pick this.
Patrick Ta. Good choice. Patrick Ta Lamination Brow Gel.
Oh, there was good choice.
Right, so you picked my brow products. I'm not going to do this singularly. I'm just going to tell what he picked for me just in one go. So he picked the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. This is the one I use in what color? Brunette. There we go. Brown.
I do know that.
And then he picked the Patrick Ta Lamination Brow Gel. So I'm going to do this while I'm going to start my brows while I ask him what kind of colorblind are you specifically?
I believe, because I don't know exactly, but I think it's red-green. It's been so long since I was tested. I think when I was tested, I was probably first or second grade, I think. Oh, and then I didn't tell you this, but when I was tested, I was in such denial. They're like, you're colorblind. I'm like, no, I'm not. So they give you a book. The eye doctor gives you a book, and then it's got those dots. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, it's an 8. I'm like, it's a Q. It's not even close. You're colorblind. No, I'm not. Give me another one. So I do remember that. But, outside of that, and maybe, coloring when you're younger, didn't really, I would say, alter or upset me in any other capacity.
So how was that? Because you talk about in kindergarten, being colorblind and not realizing it. What was that like?
Well, it was hard for me to understand that I was getting the colors wrong. It was very important, I believe, in kindergarten, or at least to my parents, that I knew what the colors were, and I just didn't. Red's brown, or red is green, blue can be purple, it didn't matter to me. And I thought those were the colors, and I'm trying to remember. It was, like I said, I don't think it was hard. That's the thing. Being colorblind doesn't really affect too much, and unless people ask, and when you get older especially, it doesn't really matter in that capacity.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, I'll ask this in a minute, but thank you for that. Now we're going to go to what he picked for foundation. Be right back. Okay, there we go. All right, so these are the foundations. He's going to pick from the ones I have. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking efficiency. I think you're using this one, so we're going to do that one.
All right. He picked the Este Lauder Double Wear Foundation in 1C.
So many numbers and words.
All right, so this is what he picked for foundation. This is the Este Lauder Double Wear in 1CO. There we go. In Shell. So he picked one of my favorite foundations. I didn't tell him that when he picked it. I let him pick and figure it out for himself. He figured it out based off of how much of the bottle I had used. But does it really affect your life in any way, the color blindness?
Not really, no. I mean, the only time, because of my job, it's we had to match, I don't know how else to say it, a cam lock to a piece of melamine. and we gotta get close to it, and I just maybe not see the difference to that. But other than that, not really. No.
Is that like a type of wood?
Yes, melamine is like, what is it, particle board with pieces of paper like compressed to it on the outside surface.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. So it doesn't like affect your driving or anything like that?
No.
Well, I feel like it wouldn't affect your driving.
No, because the lights are even oriented where you can't. I would love to say it does. So if a cop pulls me over, you're like, well, I didn't know. Red is green, officer. I'm colorblind. It's okay, right? I did nothing wrong.
That's your excuse? I'm colorblind, officer. I didn't know that Subaru was pulling out. It was red.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to...
Who's to say what is green and what is red?
Oh my gosh. So basically it just affects your life when people ask you what color something is.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And again, they had to ask me, or I had to say, you know, are you colorblind? Or I'm trying to think. Like, no, not really. It doesn't affect much. I had to tell people I'm colorblind. And then they're like, whoa, wow. What is that like?
Because one of the things I thought that maybe, like, affected it, because I feel like a lot of people think it affects driving. Mm. But the thing I was thinking about was, does it affect, like, choosing clothes? Like in New Girl, where they find out Winston's colorblind, because he's like, I'm wearing my favorite brown shoes and they're green. Like, that in media is what I thought would be, like, the worst of colorblindness, is, like...
You picked the wrong color.
Like, you picked the wrong color shoes.
I do ask, like, my brother, like, hey, what color is this? I hate it when things are like, this is dark khaki, but it's brown. Why is it called dark khaki then? What's burgundy? That's when you get out of Roy G. Biv, that's where I get a little frustrated about it, because if you just simplify, this is red, this is green, it's easier for me to understand. But if you're like, oh, this is olive, I'm like, oh, but that's not a color, that's a vegetable, right? Olive's vegetable.
A seed? A vegetable? I don't like olives. I don't know. Plus, like, olives are different colors.
Yeah, so it's all, you know, created by an infrastructure, by the man, really, the system.
So basically, you're just like, basically anything Roy G. Biv, you're like pretty good on, but then like, once you get to, like khaki or burgundy, olive, navy.
Correct, that's when I'm like, but, you know, I mean, you see me around. Do I look like I match with most of my clothes for the most part? So, the only thing it's ever affected me on is when I got my first iPod Nano. It was a used iPod Nano. I thought it was blue. My parents were like, yeah, it's blue, but it's really purple. They wouldn't want to tell me because they're like, it's a used one. We didn't want to spend the money. So they lied to me, and they were like, yeah, it's blue, Austin. It's fine.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, my parents use that to gain certain things. I don't know if you remember my laptop in school. I think it's before we knew each other, but like our sophomore, junior year, I had a Surface RT, and the keyboard I didn't know was purple, but I thought it was blue this entire time. But they only had one keyboard for the RT at that time, and it was just purple.
And no one told you?
You remember Madeline? I think she's the one that told me. If I remember correctly, she's like, I like your laptop, it's purple.
So people just let you, like, keep going with, like...
Well, like I said, it doesn't really affect until you find out. And then, the question is, okay, am I embarrassed because to me that's a female color? I mean, that's the next question. Because if I don't know, it's not hurting anything.
Oh, fair enough. But, jeez. All right. So... That was a lot to unpack right there. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna move on to eyeshadow now. I got my eyeshadow primer on because I really didn't have any others for him to pick. So he got off scot-free there. So we're gonna go to eyeshadow and we'll be right back. All right, Austin says he's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I've graduated. I know one thing for sure is Emma's a liar. It's all the same color, So
I have more palettes over there, but we are only going to choose from these 2 drawers because I feel like it'll just get too much. So here is one drawer.
Okay.
And then if you open the other drawer over there,
Okay.
there's another drawer.
So where are we at now?
These are eyeshadow palettes.
Okay.
So they are all different colors,
So
shades, shimmers. It'll be on my eyes, yes.
Okay. All right. So we already picked what I believe to just be silver, but you did tell me there is some more to it.
Some of these are very colorful palettes where they're almost like a rainbow, but then some of them are very like neutral looking.
Yes. And I'm also noticing there are some that are themed.
Yes.
It seems upsetting that you don't have like a Blade Runner theme. I feel like that would have.
Well, I haven't seen a Blade Runner one, but wouldn't buy it anyways.
Yeah, well, the Space Age thing or like a Star Wars one.
I do have a Star Wars one. Did you miss the Pat McGrath one?
Pat McGrath.
Yeah, pull the Pokemon one up.
This one out?
No, like pull it away, and then that one right there.
Oh, this one is the Star Wars one.
Yeah, I have a Star Wars palette.
Okay.
It's my Pat McGrath one. Please don't drop it.
I'm not. I truly am not. I'm just worried.
It's $128.
I'm worried I'm opening it wrong. Okay, so I pick one, right?
You can pick one palette. You can pick 2 palettes.
Oh, I pick a palette and then you pick from there? Is that how you
Well, I'm
do
going to
this?
have you pick the colors when I do it.
Okay, so I can... Okay. So
But you just pick 1 or 2.
All right, so...
And we'll go from there.
These are all, I'm guessing, Pat McGrath then? The one with the PM? Okay. And I open it upside down again.
Yes, the ones in the black case like that are Pat McGrath.
Okay, these are just... And these aren't themed...
No, some of them are not themed.
But I'm assuming all these are connected in some way.
Yes, so the point of a palette is to have complementary colors that all go with each other. Sometimes people are not the greatest at it, but they should be able to match.
I'm giving a guess that because there's a lot of Pat McGrath that you believe that they do a good job.
She does do a good job.
Okay.
I do like her work, and I've been collecting it for a while. There's a couple other brands, though, that I collect. Natasha Denona, Colourpop, Huda's in there.
I'm trying to make sure it's upside down. Okay, so hold on. I'm curious. Let me just see something. These are expensive, right? Be careful.
Yes, please be careful.
All right.
If they all go crashing, I will cry because they are $128 a piece.
Interesting.
And I've been collecting them for a while.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, they all look really, really close together.
Interesting.
I'm trying. Yeah, I truly am not. I don't want to mess up any of your stuff. All right, so this is, I'm guessing, candy themed.
Yes.
I don't see no Twizzler on it. I don't know if that necessarily is candy themed. Let's see. Poison. Okay.
Poison Garden, yeah.
Poison Garden. So I'm guessing greener items.
Yeah.
That's
some
orange.
Close.
The other thing I hate is when people say close. And I go, what's this color? And they go, it's burgundy. I'm like, what's burgundy? And it's like, it's a red brown. It's like,
it's yellow.
Bitch, choose a color. Just Roy G. Biv. That's good enough. All right, someone was already okay with that. I don't know why I shut up.
So it's a yellow.
It's a yellow.
Or orange is close to yellow.
Sonic Boom. I like some of the names.
Be careful, that one has a casing over it, so you have to slide it out first.
Does this scare you when I open these?
I think you're the only other person besides Max who has ever touched my makeup collection before.
But also, like, Max buys some of these as well.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay,
usually
so
it's just me touching these.
This is very, I'm going to say, Twilight themed. I'm
Yes.
very confident in saying that.
Yes. It reminds me of the cinematography of the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And do not worry, I will not let you, like, do something wild on my face.
Okay. All right, good. I'm glad that there's a limit.
Well, yeah, because I'm not gonna make, this is not to make a fool of you. Okay. I've told you this. Like, if I feel like you're going a weird direction, I will let you know.
Okay, good. these all, this looks like a crazy palette. I don't feel like there's a connection to this.
There is, just, I think it's not as obvious.
All right, enough. Okay, so I've perused enough of these. All right, I think...
He doesn't want to keep looking at them.
Well,
He's like, there's so many of these fucking colors.
I thought I was ready, and now I'm like, I'm not as ready as I thought I was going to be. Okay, these look natural-er. Like more browns. Did I say?
I'll tell you
like
later.
Like more brown pink, like skin tones. Okay.
I'll tell you later. Thank you for putting that back in the right spot.
I am trying. I'm not. I know there's a system. I just haven't figured out your system yet. All right. So let me ask you this, because I've already picked that silvery-ish looking one. Mm-hmm. Is there already like he headed towards a direction for this then?
You can pick whatever you like. So far, what you have picked, I'm not concerned.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because I like the idea of that with Star Wars, but I don't feel...
I can make this one work, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one.
Like, the colors in that palette I can make work. It would not be...
It would be doable.
It would be doable.
Did I even open this one?
No, you did not. It is also in a case, so you need to...
Slide it out.
Yep. There's actual, like...
more.
It's a box.
Because you told me this is very precious to you, it feels like holding a bomb. I'm trying to...
It's my Pokemon one, which, like, I'm really proud I own.
Okay. I was expecting Pokemon names, to be honest with you.
Well, it's not the names of the actual Pokemon, but it's, like, different things from the actual game and TV show.
So, like, this is, like, the color of the tall grass, you would say?
Yeah, you walk through the tall grass in the game to, like, catch Pokemon.
Thank you for telling me how Pokemon works.
Just letting you know. He should be grateful that I'm not letting him have to pick from my single shadows and liquid shadows.
Oh, do it, I dare you.
Get him powder shadows and then be like, okay, now pick from these liquids.
Alright, I feel like I have drowned myself, so we're going to...
He's just gonna pick a random one and be like...
Hold on, I still want to go by some sort of something. How do you feel about that one? Are you not going to give me a hint at all?
I can make it work.
I don't like it when you say it. I can make it work. It's doable.
It's not the typical palette or color story I would choose.
Ooh, color story.
Mm-hmm. But I would make it work. Like, it's not so far left field that I would be like, oh, I can't make this work.
Mm-hmm. I thought let's do this one. That's what I've decided after.
All right, so he picked the Colourpop Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon palette for love and justice. How cute, guys. All right, do you feel good about your choices?
I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried going to the next step.
Don't worry, I am not steering you wrong in any sense.
You know, like when you go to a really big game and they're like, are you ready for this? I'm like, this is going to be really tough. Oh no.
Here, I'll show him my single shadows as well.
This is easier. I don't know what you...
That's some of my single shadows.
Oh, okay. There was more?
And then these palettes, some of them are magnetic, and they have more single shadows.
Okay.
So for example... Sorry, y'all. You're going to have to look at the wall for a second.
Yeah.
So this one's magnetic and has shades in it.
Oh, just shades. Okay.
Yeah, so they're different ones that I've either depotted from palettes I didn't want anymore, but wanted a specific color, or I've bought them individually.
Okay.
All right, so he picked the... He picked something. Okay, we're not laughing about the eyeshadow. We're laughing about what he just said to me, but... Because he never told me those stories about the iPod and the laptop, so I'm sitting there like, wait, no one told you? Like...
Well, no, people in high school. Like I said, that's how I found out. Except for the Nano.
Oh my gosh.
I think at that point I had an iPhone, so I don't think it mattered at that point.
Fair enough. He picked the Colourpop Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon for Love and Justice palette. This is the colors he chose. So what do you specifically see in
What you're asking on a row?
Or just in general, like, how does it look?
It looks like pinks and silvers and blues.
So yeah, that's actually pretty there. There's a purple in there somewhere, a peach, but it's mostly like purpley pinks, oranges, blues, things like that. So yeah, so like color blindness doesn't always mean like everything just looks gray. Like he can like differentiate colors from what.
Yeah.
But is differentiating? I guess this is going to be an interesting question. Is differentiating colors because you've just gotten used to like knowing what they look like, or because they actually look different?
Well, what I find so fascinating is people have asked me, and I think it's a very valid question, is, okay, if you think this blue is not blue to us, but why do you think it's a different color? Because you would think if I started from nothing, that color would just be blue automatically. So I don't know why I think I know what blue looks like, and it's not what you guys perceive it to be. And also, I think another thing that's fascinating, I told you about the peanut butter thing. I don't know if you want to talk about that here.
You can talk about the peanut butter thing.
I will say, and this is the same thing. So either in kindergarten or first grade, I remember, you ever do like math problems and you have to solve it, and that number is the answer to a color on a coloring page?
Oh, yeah.
And then you colored it. So I couldn't find a single blue, but I did find a purple. And I knew it was purple because it's written on it, but my brain was like, oh, if I just shade it lightly, it's not purple anymore, it's blue.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how my first kindergarten age brain would think of it that way. So I think you can manipulate it by a shade. If you make it lighter, it's a different color.
Okay. So what kind of colors do you see on my eyes right now?
I would say blue.
It is a blue. I won't go into the shade of blue because that might just make you angry.
It's a violet. It's a blueberry, Pillsbury.
It's a periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Okay, whatever.
I knew that would be upsetting. Just it's periwinkle. Like being so specific about what color it is.
Well, that's because I can't see it. So once you get to that, I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's a lighter or darker shade of your either whatever color it is.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I get it. Like, but the thing is, like, I don't know where I read it or like some study I did. They did out there was really interesting because they were talking about how like women like have a better have better vision when it comes to color.
Yes.
And that women can like differentiate colors better. So have you seen the video where this woman puts out 3 paint swatches and the guy's like, they're all the same. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
They're not. And so he's like, but they're all the same color. And she's like, no, they're all different. And so he switches them all up, puts them on the table and goes, okay, which one did you pick? And she grabs the one she picked, the one she liked. And he's like, how did you do that? How is that like?
So here's what I do know. I know color blindness is affected by your X chromosome. I only have one X. So my one X is broken. I don't know what that exactly means, but because of that, my rods and cones and my eyes are skewed. So the way light comes into my eyes is not bouncing correctly. Women have 2 X's. So even if you have a broken X, you still have one backup. So maybe it's because you guys have extra X chromosomes. Maybe it's easier for you to perceive color in a more hyper-intense way. Maybe it's easier for women to see it, like, in a more, like, hyper-focused.
I mean, that definitely could be true. Because I was laughing. There was another video I saw where this girl was like, oh, I went and got my nails done. And I got the color put on, and I hated the color. And so I went home, and I got a color I was comfy with. And she's like, am I crazy? Because she, like, pulls up the 2 colors. Oh, hey, Shiva. And I can tell a difference. There's, like, an undertone difference to the 2 colors, but they have the same base color. And I think a lot of men would have looked at that and been like, she just repainted her nails the same color. But in reality, like, it's a completely different color.
Yeah. And maybe they can, like, those people specifically can perceive that light spectrum way, I guess, better. And I can see that.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because, like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, yeah, those are two different colors.
Oh, so
like,
you can see it, too. You can perceive that as well.
Yeah, because, no, I have been in situations where, like, I was like, oh, yeah, those are two different colors. And, like, some of the men around me will be like, that's not two different colors. That's... I'm going to let her out. Okay. But, that's not... you can sit there. Okay. It's... Basically, I was telling people that it was two different colors. And the men in the room were like, no, that's not two different colors. It's the same color. Why is she being so particular about, like, these, like, same colors? But, like, I can understand the undertone, which can sometimes be, like, hardened makeup. Because I'll be like, oh, I want it to be, like, a specific color. And I'll look through all my colors, and there'll be two that look, like, very similar. But they're not actually the same color.
Okay. But
like, I'll swatch them and I'll be like, it's like slightly off. And I think Max would look at it, my boyfriend, would look at it and be like,
what's the difference?
What's the difference? All right. So actually, I want you to choose something for me.
Okay.
So I'm between this color, Friends Forever, and this aqua color. So you can kind of, I guess, guess what colors. Based off of what I have right now on my eyes, do you think I should go with something a little bit more matchy, which is the aqua? Or should I go with something a little lighter?
So let me ask you this. What will it do if you match it more versus not match it more? Will it, like, add something?
So this Friends Forever color will be lighter than what I'm using.
Okay.
So it'll pop more.
Okay. This
one will kind of mix in a little bit better and create that more monochrome, like, same color kind of look.
I would say let's do a little more pop. Let's do the silver one.
All right. So while I do that, let's see. I do have this question because I am very curious about this. But when you've seen me wear makeup before, how have you perceived, like, what that looks like?
I go surface level first. It looks good.
Okay.
I don't extrapolate anything past that unless you're asking me how is my makeup. Okay,
so, like, my makeup, like, you never look at it and go, those are some, like, interesting, like, color choices. Like, they don't, like, do they not, like, look similar, or do they look similar that you're like,
I think I go from the perception of it looks good. If it looked bad, I think I would notice it more. But when it looks good, it kind of like meshes in really well with you. So I don't go, what's the best way to say this?
You wouldn't go out of your way to say, like,
I mean, it looks good. I can say that. But I've never seen it to where I go, ooh, that looks bad. I don't think I've ever done that. But then I have to stop myself, because even if I think it looks bad, which I've never thought that, I would have to go, okay, does it look bad because it is bad, or is it because I'm colorblind? So I'm like, I'll just keep it to myself if I think it looks bad.
Well, because, like, I wear a lot of, like, bright colors a lot of the time. And I was always curious, like, if you looked at, like, the colors on my eyes and went, what the heck is she wearing? Like,
no.
Because, like, how you perceive color is, like, different than how I perceive color.
Yeah.
Like, you would look at it and be like, the frick? Like the peanut butter thing. Like, the peanuts to peanut butter thing. Like,
I don't know if this will help, because I think it may help or not, but I don't know if you can keep this in or not. But when I once, and my friend was like, oh, do you see the colors? Isn't it so radiant? And I said, no, they don't look radiant to me. And he was so sad.
Oh.
So I want you to default. Color is not like, I notice it, but it doesn't alter or change how I feel, or, like, I don't want to say it doesn't amaze me, but it doesn't, I guess it doesn't, like, excite me in that way.
it doesn't affect you the way it would, like, affect the rest of us who see color normally. Okay. I guess my next question kind of is then at this point, well, I'm almost done with this under eye, so maybe I'll wait until we do mascara to ask the question. But this is it. I think it looks good. I think the silvery white color was actually the better choice. So
yeah, I knew that.
You knew that?
I'm that good. You know, the person that used to be CEO of Crayola was colorblind.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
There's a bunch of people you wouldn't think, like Christopher Nolan, he's colorblind too.
Didn't he do the Batman movies?
Did the Batman movies, did that Oppenheimer movie.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of colors in those, though.
Yeah, now you know. You're welcome. You remember the Kingsman movies?
Yeah.
That director, he's also colorblind.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I only knew that because in the first one, you notice Marv Studio, that's his company. In the beginning, it's a colorblind test. And they do that on purpose because he is colorblind.
Dang. Okay. So we're going to go on to mascara. So he's going to pick my mascara. This will be probably really easy, really quick. So we'll be right back. Right, now he's going to choose from mascaras. I pulled out all the black ones. Just to make it a little
Are you worried
easier.
someone's going to be like, there's other ones he can pick? All right. I'm going to choose, because I just like what it says, I'm going to choose the anti-gravity one.
All right.
I like defying laws of physics.
All right. He chose the Milani anti-gravity. Good choice. All right. And then we are going to do the Milani anti-gravity mascara. That is what he chose. Why did you choose it again?
Because it defied physics.
He likes that it defies physics. So that's...
It says anti-gravity.
Oh. So before you were mentioning the directors, what were we talking specifically about? Like the people who are colorblind? Do you remember what we were talking about?
No, I don't. I mean, we were talking about, and also I think I should acknowledge as well, because you were asking me, you know, when I see color, does it give that emotion? I also take pause and saying I'm not a very emotional person, so I take that with a grain of salt. Maybe there are colorblind people who are affected by colors way more intensely than I am, but it's like for me, it's just, you know, it's color, it exists. I don't think past it as much. When I pick an outfit to wear that day, I go, this is not the same. It's not this blue. It's not this blue. Good enough.
Okay. Well, because I was wondering, because you used to tell me that, like, the reason you liked red hair is because it looked...
It's different.
Different to you.
It's different. It's vastly different.
Like... You described it a certain way, and I always like thought it was really interesting how you described red hair.
Red hair is kind of maybe I would say like it's got like a glow to it. Mm-hmm. Red hair has like a bronzy maybe look to it. It just looks so peculiar to me. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So now I remember my question. Because I needed a reminder. Okay, good.
That's why I was like, so what were we talking about again? Because I need a reminder. Okay. Would you ever do the colorblind glasses?
Yeah, I could do it. I'm amazed when I see people cry over it. I mean, I don't think I would cry.
You don't think it would cry?
I don't think it would, like, shock me to my core.
To see color?
I think what happens is I put it on and I go, oh, that's what people see. And take them off. Although I do like it when in New Girl when Winston had them on.
That was...
So if I was going to have a reaction, it's either going to be nothing or it should be just like how Winston...
What? Utter terror?
Well, no, remember he like felt all the emotions.
And he was like terrified of every...
Like, oh my gosh, that blue! I hate blue so much!
All right, so we're going to go to concealer real quick, and then we'll be right back. So here are the concealers that we're looking at. All right, Austin, what's your pick?
Ooh, pressure.
Ooh, Kulfi concealer in Badaam. All right, there's his choice. All right, and so he picked the Kulfi concealer in Badaam because that's the only color I have. And
it's always best when it's only one choice.
Mm-hmm. He, I told him this would be the easiest one to do because foundation and concealer, like, you don't have to worry about color because usually people, like, pick the colors that go best with them.
Yeah, you don't go off script on that, right? It's also, doesn't it affect your skin tone? Like, you need to match it in some way?
Yes. So concealer is really interesting because you either, like, try to match it to your skin tone or you are trying to brighten. So you might go, like, a color down,
Okay.
which makes it lighter, which gives a brightening effect to the under eye. But people don't usually, like, buy a concealer that is not their shade. Or a foundation that's not their shade, because it's like...
But I'm assuming all this makeup is to also accent features in your face, though, right? Like, you're making that lighter so people are drawing to your eyes.
Yeah, so makeup is just to accentuate your features and, like, things like that. I have never considered makeup as, like, you're trying to hide something or you're trying to, like, make yourself prettier or cover yourself up. Now, if you feel pretty with makeup, that's fine. But I've never, like, thought of it as something to, like, hide who you actually are. It just... I say that as I cover pimples on my face.
Well, I want to say, like, if it makes someone confident to wear this or put this on, doesn't it make you more of who you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
That's always what I've thought, too.
Yeah. I just think a lot of people... So, people have a lot of perspective, like, and things about makeup. And I'm kind of curious to hear yours after he picks my bronzer and contour. So I gave him all my bronzers and all my contours, and I just let him pick through that. So we'll see what he picked for my contour or bronzer. So now he is going to pick from my contour / bronzer. So he's going to basically determine whether I'm using contour or bronzer today. So these are the choices.
I'm going to pick this one.
He chose the Too Cool Art Class by Rodin as his contour. All right, so he picked the Too Cool for School Art Class by Rodin, one of my favorite Korean contours. And so...
I knew that, just so you know, without you saying that.
It's my only Korean contour.
I knew that, too. I saw that.
This is what it looks like. You asked me a question about do I use all three colors. Yeah, I just swirl.
Okay.
Because... Technically, there are 3 different colors, but I just swirl them together and then put it on my face.
Okay.
But how did you feel about, like, because I know I didn't start wearing makeup when we first became friends. So I didn't start wearing makeup till later. And 2, honestly, I did, like, I was scared to wear, like, the full thing in front of you for a while. Or, like, any of my makeup for a while.
Okay.
Just because I wondered about your opinion on it. So what is your opinion about makeup?
I truly believe if it makes someone happy and it makes you who you're supposed to be and gives you that confidence, it doesn't, like, I'm indifferent to it in that capacity. I think if it makes you feel better, good. If it makes you feel shitty, don't do it.
Fair enough. I was just always curious about... Well, it was also because, like, I was very much like a tomboy in high school. And in college, I kind of started getting in touch with more of my, like, feminine side of myself. And so I was always, like, concerned of what, like, my guy friends would say once I started being more, like, feminine, but still, you know, enjoying video games and things like what's traditionally male and what's traditionally female. I always worried about how that would go.
You know, I'm remembering a story. This is before I met you in high school. I was trying to make a point to someone. I can't remember who. But we were talking about cars. And we looked at the parking lot. And I was like, yeah, that truck right there, definitely a guy. And you're like, that's Emma's. What? And I can't...
My Ranger?
Yeah, your Ranger.
My little green Ranger.
That was green?
I believe it was green.
I thought it was brown.
No, it was green.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but you know. Who knows anymore, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a green. It was a green Ranger when I was growing up.
I can't remember what point I was making, but it was a masculine feminine thing. And of course, me talking my ass out of my ass. I was going to end up being wrong. But I trucked along. I think after that, I think I was shaky, but I think I was still right in some capacity. I just don't remember what I was right about.
I don't think you were right, but okay. All right, we're gonna move on to blush now. So he's gonna pick my blush. Hopefully it'll go well. You told me something interesting before we started this. You said pink looked gray, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because I own a lot of pink blushes, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well,
like I worried because I was like, is he going to be able to differentiate all the different pinks, or is it just going to look like a bunch of gray blushes?
I can't remember. Was it a bunch of grays? I know one thing. I was like, oh, this is all gray, and you're like, no, it's not.
Well, there was an eyeshadow palette that you were like, oh, this looks like a very neutral palette, and then
I think I used the word natural because I think that's what I used.
Yeah, you used natural, and it was a Natasha Denona palette just filled with greens and pinks, and I was like
nature natural. I think
nature
that's what
natural.
I said.
Yeah, then you were like, oh, nature natural. But I was sitting there, and because he's like, oh yeah, a bunch of browns, very natural, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no, and he like I said, I was not setting him up for failure. I just sat there and I was like,
uh-oh.
If he picks it, that's fine. I just was like, do I tell him or do I just let him believe, like... Which I don't think it's right to just, like, let you believe, like...
Oh, yeah, you gotta tell me the truth immediately. That's
like,
probably best.
I just wanted to tell you the truth, because now after hearing about all those stories where no one told you what colors anything was, like, I feel like it's better to just be honest and be like, hey, that's not the color you think it is.
Crush their spirit instantly. Don't give them hope. Yes, thank you, Emma.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant it more in like a sense of like, I felt like it was nicer to be honest than it was to be like, ignorance is bliss, but maybe, do you want ignorance is bliss?
Oh god, yeah, you just lie to me all the time.
Yikes. Okay. All right, we're gonna go to blush now that we've established that. Yes, this is a color now at this point. So they're all different shades of pinks, peaches. There's one purpley one in there. There's some reds in there.
So like this, for example, this is, you're not going to tell me the color, I'm assuming, but this is like the same. Okay, the outside's the same as the end. Okay.
Some are the same as the inside is the same as the outside. You also get a choice of like cream versus powder. Because some of these are like creamy while others are powdery. I also have the palettes back there if you want to dig into the...
Keep exploring.
Yeah.
Pink. And then these are options too?
Yes, because they also have blushes in them. So some of them are highlighted.
I'm going to be honest with you now. I'm drowning in choices now. Okay.
That's the tough part is I have a lot of choices. Honestly, this is not as bad as some people.
I don't think it's bad. I'm just amazed that you're like, okay, I want this. I'm feeling overwhelmed now. All right. Let me see around. But it's all
other
pinks.
Side.
I'll figure it out. Hold on. Don't tell me.
It's pinks, peaches, reds, purples.
I see this one. You know what? Now it's starting to blend together.
I wear a lot of...
We're gonna do this before I drown myself.
All right, he chose the Stila Soul Seduction blush. All right, so we came back, and he chose the Stila blush and Soul Seduction. He did pick a pink blush, so...
Yeah.
And like I said, I did not set him up for failure, so I did make sure like everything could or would match in some capacity.
Which is good. You didn't want to be like, oh, it's cookie crazy, let's just do this.
Like, I didn't want to... Like, the whole point was not to make fun of fun of you and to be like, oh, ha ha ha, like he can't see color. Like the point of this was to be like, how do you see things and like what would you pick? And if I saw him going to a point where like it was going to make him look bad or make it look like he was going to be made like it looked like I was trying to make fun of him, I tried to steer in the right direction.
Yeah, I would just say from all your makeup, that just seems like so many choices. I think that was really the thing that I'm like, oh my god, it's a lot of... I don't know how you just go through that sea of makeup and go, that's it, this is it. And like, know what you want. I just... If it were like, 2 or 3 palettes, I could easily decipher that. I think I could do that systematically, but when you're like, oh, it's 20 to 30 different options, I'm like, what?
Yeah, so he's outing me on my collection of like how much crap I have. Like,
and I mean, it's purposeful. Like you use it, but I'm like, that to me would just be very daunting, and I just don't know how you do it.
Oh, it's more because I just know what I want to do when I get here. It's very rare I come up to this desk and I go, I have no clue what I want to play with. It is very rare because I usually know at least what palette I want to play with. Now, I may not know what colors, but I do know, like...
This is a palette?
Yes, that is a palette.
All right.
So he asked if this was a palette. This is a palette. I usually know which palette to play with. I may not know exactly at the time what colors, but I do know, like, ooh, I'll be drawn to this one because this is how it's making me feel right now. All right, so we're going to go to setting powder. I'm going to go a little out of order. But we're going to do setting powder, under eye, and regular. Because he did choose 2 different... he's choosing 2 different colors. And we'll be right back. So here are my powders. Some of them I use for under the eyes. Some I use for on my face. It just kind of depends on the color and things like that.
All right, so then I'm going to pick...
So you're going to pick 2 powders.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Yep, one for the face and then one for the under eyes.
Okay. And they both work for either?
Some
So if
are...
I pick this... Okay, so I'm going to pick this one. What is that?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Alright, so I picked that one, and...
He picked the Maybelline Fit Me in 100.
Okay. And I feel like these 2 are different, but I also feel like they're the same. So I think I'm going to pick this one.
All right, and then he picked Huda Beauty for under the eyes. He did it in banana bread.
Okay.
All right, so he picked his powders, and he chose the Maybelline Fit Me, and then he chose the Huda Beauty banana bread color. So y'all know I usually pick like
that's
a
how
pink.
It opens? Holy shit! That's how it opens.
Yeah. So
okay.
He didn't realize that like I didn't. Because, like, this thing...
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought that was you use it.
No, you open it like this, and that's where the powder
I'm sorry. I was just...
So, y'all know I usually use a pink powder under my eyes, but I think the banana bread will look just fine. Like, I'm not worried about it. It's just not, like, that brightening color. It'll just look like my face, and that's fine. But, you've now seen me do my makeup a couple times. How did you feel that first time you watched me, like, put it on? Like, what were, like, ideas going through your head?
I go, that's a lot. It's so many steps. I mean, and you gotta do it in a certain way, and you just said that you're changing it as well just today. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this now instead at the end. I'm like, how do you just keep it all in your head? It amazes me. It amazes me how much work there is, how many choices there are, and then also, like, oh, you gotta do all these steps.
Well, you don't have to do all the steps.
Okay. Which ones can you skip?
You can skip anything you want to.
You can? Oh, my God.
It's just... Like, I know some people who don't do brows. I know some people who don't use face powders or setting sprays or primers or, like, eyeshadow or anything like that. Like... I know people who don't use, like, the full spectrum of makeup. Okay. It's just, You
enjoy the process.
I enjoy the process, yes.
Did you enjoy the process when you first started it?
I don't know. The first thing I ever tried was mascara. So, like, things like that, I just, put on my eyes. It wasn't really like an enjoyment thing. It was just I saw my mom wearing mascara and I decided to wear it.
All right. But then you said that when you decided, like, I'm going to do makeup now, and you got worried about, what people may think of that, because you're just starting out basically into this unknown. Mm-hmm. Was it ever daunting at all when you started it?
There were certain
fully
things.
Starting the makeup process.
There were certain things, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I slowly added things to my routine. So I didn't start using powder until a couple years ago. Brow products are very recent, like within the last year. I've been actually doing my brows instead of like within the last 365 days, I've started actually doing my brows. A lot of the things I really started with was eye makeup, and then I slowly moved to face makeup. Okay. So eyes and lips didn't scare me as much as my face.
And what part of that scared you? Like doing it wrong? Is that what scared you?
Doing it wrong, getting the wrong colors. When I was growing up, this shade of foundation, this color, wasn't really was only in higher end brands.
Okay.
Because this is a higher end brand. That's about. All right. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my camera. Basically, the chemistry of makeup has gotten better and has given better accessibility to undertones. So there's a base color to people, but then there's this color underneath it that kind of comes out in different ways that adds to the foundation. So I usually wear a fair colored because I'm very pale, but then I have a neutral undertone. Okay. So
is that undertone underneath the skin?
It kind of mixes with the skin. So it's basically white mixed with a little yellow. Okay. Whereas a warm tone would give you that more orange effect. Okay. And as a kid and growing up, all my foundations were warm toned because drugstore didn't do a lot of differentiation. So I looked warm or orange a lot. So that is why. So
let me ask you this. If someone's starting out and they're daunted, should they go to their local Sephora? Because I'm assuming that's where it all started for you, right? Was it Sephora where you were
I was actually terrified to go to Sephora starting out. Yeah, so Sephora was scary. I went to Ulta.
Okay. I don't know what's the difference. I thought there was
Ulta has a drugstore component to it. Okay. So the makeup you could get at Walgreens or CVS, you could also get at Ulta.
And Ulta's tax too? You said drugstore.
Drugstore makeup. Okay. But it just was friendlier feeling. So that's where I started out in my makeup journey. But even before that, I was going to Walgreens and CVS and buying what I could there because I couldn't afford nicer makeup at the time. Okay. All right, so we're going to do setting spray, lip liner, and lipstick, and we'll be right back.
So now he's got setting sprays. These are the ones that he has to choose from. Let's see what he chooses.
Well, very simple, man. I'm assuming all relatively the same. I think about really close. I think if we had to give a guess.
Sometimes.
I think if you had only
take off the caps of some of them and see how similar or not similar they are.
What do you mean? Is it a color too?
No.
No, don't record this. I can't. Okay.
Aerosol.
Oh, aerosol. Okay.
So it's an aerosol one.
This is so this is a spray then.
This one's an actual spray. Okay. And they all have different finishes, things like that.
I feel like if you lost 4 of these today, you would be fine. It wouldn't really upset you versus if you lost one of the colors.
I don't know. There's a couple of these I really like. I'd be pretty upset.
Okay. Like any mother, you have a favorite, I'm assuming.
I have a couple favorites, yeah.
I'm going to choose this one because it's half empty. That's what I'm going to choose.
All right, he chose the Milani Make It Last Original Setting Spray. These were the options. That's what he chose. So those are my lip liners. These pencils right here.
Okay, I always look at the wrong thing immediately. All right.
So we have multiple different colors. A lot of similar colors as well.
Okay.
Because there's a certain kind of color I really like.
Is it pink?
It's pretty much pink, yeah.
Okay. This fills in your lips.
No, this outlines my lips.
Outlines your lips, okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Should I open them up at all?
You can open them up, but a lot of them have the color on the outside.
They don't fool you. They don't change the color.
No, they try to keep the color pretty similar. There's a couple that aren't, but
I don't know if that matters. I keep going towards it. I'll pick this.
all right. So he picked Colourpop BFF Lippie pencil. This is Cool BFF. He picked lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
These are all my lipsticks.
Okay.
Multitude of colors.
Named, maybe? Okay,
They should be named.
So okay, so I do have to open these up, right, to know, or I can see Velvet.
That's Velvet Teddy.
Velvet Teddy.
Some of these you do need to open up to see the color.
Yeah, cream cup, that sounds like a food, but that doesn't look like food.
He's getting option fatigue.
Yeah,
just
I
looking.
am. I'm drowning.
He thought this would be easier than it actually is. You got to remember, I enjoyed this.
Well, also, I'm trying to analyze this. I'm assuming these are organized in a way. Like, this is one color, this is another color. I'm going to make that assumption.
So these are pretty similar colors. These are a different color. These are a multitude of colors. And then this is another color.
Okay, because I'm assuming, because, once you get into the weeds of it, like, if a pink to a different pink to a different pink, I'm already, like, I can't decipher those. So I feel like that, if I just pick one out of that or one out of that, it's just, this is what, pink, I'm assuming?
Well, they're all different pinks. They're all different shades and, like, finishes of pink.
Okay.
Those are not pink.
These are not pink.
You got to twist.
Thank you. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's not even, okay.
It's a liquid lipstick. They're called vinyl ink.
Vinyl ink, okay. This is more red, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, what did it look like to you?
It looked like red.
Okay.
It did look like red.
Okay. So
Alright.
I love how he tries to take the cap off of certain ones that are twists.
Well, okay. I think people can tell I've never worn lipstick.
I think it's just confusing because some of them are like a cap that you can just pop off.
I feel like I'm going in like an animal, like an ape who doesn't know what they're doing at all.
That one's a
twist.
Twist. What?
Is it
Is it a twist?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yes,
No,
it's a twist and it pops out. Yeah.
See, this is magic.
Well, it's a lipstick case. Yeah.
And there's a lipstick on top and more twisting.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like a puzzle.
That's a twist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning. But that's the same color as the outside.
Wait till he gets to my eyeshadow palettes.
No. I like this one only because it spins.
The mechanics.
Yeah, the mechanics of it. Alright, so we're going to pick that.
All right. He chose Fenty Beauty Mother Lover. All right.
All
There we
right,
go.
so he picked the Milani Make It Last spray because it's one of the most used ones, at least from what he could see. I told him I use the one size a lot as well, but you can't see through the bottle, so he couldn't tell. And then I was going to use, he chose the Colourpop Lippie pencil in Cool BFF, which is actually one of my favorites.
Okay. Knew that.
I wear this a lot. I wear this a lot, actually. Because it is what I consider, like, the perfect cool tone brown.
Yeah, it was one of the very top of your drawer, too, I think. I didn't dig for that one.
No, you did not dig for this one. Because it is, like, one of my favorites. I love this color.
Why is that? It's just, like, the right type of color for your lips?
It's the right color for, like... It's the right undertone.
Okay.
So, I was talking about undertones. Mm-hmm. I can get away with neutral foundations. Mm-hmm. But I lean more towards, like, cool-toned items because it just matches my skin better.
Yeah.
It looks better. And then he picked the Fenty lipstick. Oh, I have that upside down. Fenty in Mother Lover because that's the only color I have in the Fenty lipsticks.
I like the way it opened. That was my reason. It fascinates me The packaging must be a big selling factor to makeup as well. Once you get to a certain price range, like the experience of like turning that and then you have to open it up like it's a new space age item. It's gotta give you some sort of joy at least.
You want to know the wild thing?
What?
These are 2 separate components.
What do you mean? Is there like the second thing?
So...
Oh, there's more?
No, so you buy the lipstick.
Okay.
Like this little silver thing.
Oh.
And you stick it
into
in
it.
that.
Oh, so you don't buy this every time. This is the case.
Yeah, so you just take that out. You can put that back in. And then I could buy a new color.
I'm amazed. That is amazing.
So the case is refillable.
Okay, that's nice.
So I can keep this like nice case for as long as I want to. And all I gotta do is go buy...
Just the inside and insert. Okay.
Yeah, so I only have to buy the case once, and then I can buy whatever lipstick I want. So I could actually have 3 of these lipsticks and just switch it out with the case. Because Fenty comes out with like different cases. This was a limited edition summer one that I wanted. And
the case was limited.
Yes, the case was limited edition.
Okay. So
the
when you
color
bought,
is not.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So when you bought it, you bought just the case, and then you bought the insert, or was the insert already in there when you bought that case?
So I bought the insert and I bought the case.
Okay,
All
right.
So they were 2 different
sold
components.
Separately. Okay.
Yes. I actually bought a different color for it at first.
Okay.
And the color did not match.
Oh.
It was bad.
Okay.
Like the color was really bad on me, and I had to go pick a new one.
Okay.
Like the color looked so bad. Like I put it on and started laughing.
What? Because it was like not what you thought was in your head, or
It just did not match.
Your face?
It did not go with my face. It didn't
Okay.
go with my skin tone. Like nothing looked right, and I laughed. Like I maniacally laughed at how bad this color looked on me. So that's how I got Mother Lover, because it matches better. All right, so we're gonna pick lip gloss and highlighter, and we'll be right back.
So these are the lip glosses. They're right next to my Lippie pencils. All the colors, all the glitters, all the arrangements, all the...
So let me ask you this. The one I picked here, shouldn't that somewhat connect to this as well?
It sometimes does. It sometimes doesn't. It kind of...
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, if you're trying to do, a monochromatic thing, yeah. It kind of depends sometimes.
Okay, but if you put color in, then it doesn't really matter at that point.
It does matter to an extent, because some of the glitters are different.
I say that. Everything has to matter, otherwise you wouldn't have 20 different items.
They all do different things. They're all different, finishes. They're all different colors. I think he's just picking what looks the most used.
Well, partially, but also I'm like, I don't want it to look bad. I really genuinely don't. But now I'm like, so much choice. And I'm thinking, so what I've already picked, it doesn't matter yet?
Well, we haven't picked the blush is a color cosmetic.
Okay.
And the lip liner is a color cosmetic, but everything else has kind of been, basic, stuff that I can work around if needed.
Work around. All right.
And there's a few in the back here.
Okay. Because I'm going to stick to this before
Okay, you're just going to stick to...
Yeah, before I drown.
Those are just, more, unique ones that I don't use as often.
Pick. Okay. The drawer doesn't come out anymore.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
my excuse. I'll try this.
All right. He chose the Michaela X Glamlight lip gloss. Does it have a color? No, it does not have a color name. So it's just the Michaela X Glamlight lip gloss.
Now we're all unknown. There we go. No one knows. I don't know. There's names. Hold on. First off, they name the colors.
Here are my highlighters.
So, and a highlighter is for...
Highlighting the cheeks. So it's either glowy or shimmery looking.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on your cheeks. It goes on, it can go on your nose, your upper lip, anything that you want to make kind of glowy, sparkly.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Something to, so you like a feature of your face, and this is kind of what you want to highlight on your face. Mm-hmm. Is that what it's kind of used for? Okay. Are they all roughly the same, or are they varying in colors now?
Oh, they are varying in colors.
Okay.
If you need to look... Some of them have clear cases so you can see, and then some...
I do like this can, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like a silver. You don't have to tell me.
I can't tell. I can't tell you.
This is like a silver, all right, because it's space age.
It
looks like silver too.
Interesting. Shiva, you want to pick one for him?
This looks like silver as well. I think you're lying to me. Silver, silver, silver. Is this another highlighter?
Yeah.
But this is...
Cream.
A cream. Okay. What's the difference?
So, the formulation. So a lot of these are powder.
Okay. But the cream, it will do the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, but...
Well, similar things, yeah.
This is like 2 different silvers. I'm assuming there's a blue in there.
There's not a blue in there.
Okay, alright. Well, I'm assuming there may or may not be a blue.
I do have a blue highlighter. I actually have a couple blue ones.
Alright, that's different. That's different. I was going to say that's gold.
It's definitely a color.
Okay, silver.
I love how he thinks.
All I'm going to say right now is you're a liar and this is all silver except for a few. That's what I'm going to say right now.
They're actually not, but there's a button.
Hold on, I was going to figure it out.
I'm trying to make sure you don't break anything. That's a $40 highlighter, man.
Well, maybe they should make it easier to open, okay?
I was like, that's $40. I'm making sure I don't have to spend another $40.
Is this another?
You also have it upside down. I promise this was not a video to make fun of him. It just turned into it.
Okay.
There are no making fun of him for colors. We are making fun because he can't open the product.
Yeah, there you go. It's his intellect really we should be concerned with. Mm-hmm. Is there 2 different colors here? No.
Multiple.
Oh, there's multiple colors in here?
Mm-hmm. The glitter is multicolored. It was for Pride Month, if that helps.
No, it doesn't. It's not making it any easier. I had that upside down as well. Alright, okay.
Is that silver?
Well, it's like a duller silver. It's still grays.
That's actually really interesting. I think you've opened that one.
Oh, yes, I did. Alright, so here's my issue now. So now we're getting to a point where it all feels the same to me. Except for I saw that one that looked like gold to me. And there's another one. Alright, so...
That's actually really interesting. I'll tell you the colors of them in a minute.
Okay. Oh, I like this one just because I like the container.
Alright, so he picked the Kaleido Space Age Prophecy. Alright, these are all his picks. How exciting!
Alright, so he picked a lip gloss. He picked the Michaela X Glam Light. There is no color on it, so I cannot give y'all a color. But it's just like a beigey, pinky.
Let me describe the color for them.
Okay, what's the color?
Beigey, pinky.
There you go, folks.
Yeah, you're welcome. What else were you going to say that I was also going to say too?
It's an opaque gloss, which means it has pigment, but it doesn't have like sparkles in it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I'm glad we're in sync on this.
So in sync, guys. So in sync. And then for our final thing, the highlighter, he chose the Space Age Prophecy from Kaleidos. So this one's a little misleading because it looks white. But
Thank you. So it's misleading. It's already lying to you from the get-go.
But the sparkles are like this golden color, which like an orangish gold color. And he thought it was like a white silver color, and when I like showed the shift, he was like, oh. So I found that interesting. Because like it does look white. I understand like.
Well, how do you know it shifted? Do you have to put it on your finger first to test it and go, okay, that shifts?
Well, I bought this online,
okay, and then
I got to see pictures of it before.
Okay, and that was my next question. If you buy something online, how do you know exactly what it's supposed to be?
Because they show pictures,
okay,
like online of what you're buying.
Okay.
Usually they have like pretty good pictures of what you're gonna buy, so you're not misleading customers.
Now, when they show you the colors, is it on a model, or is it just the color?
So sometimes it's on a model. Sometimes it's just the color. Sometimes it's in what we call swatches, where we like swipe our finger in the color, we put it on our skin, and we can see the color that way.
Because I was going to ask you, if the model isn't like the same skin tone as you, is it going to be harder for you to know and say if this is going to work for me or not?
Well, the industry is getting better, and they are using more than just one model.
Okay.
So they don't always just use like a dark-skinned model or a light-skinned model.
Okay.
They try to have a range. So they try to have someone about my skin tone. They try to have someone who's like in between. And then they have someone who has like a dark skin tone.
Okay.
And they'll do it that way.
All right.
But that is the last piece. So I'm just gonna fluff my hair. And this is how it looks, y'all. I think he did a pretty good job. Like, I honestly did not give him a ton of help. Like, like he picked most of this himself. And if I felt like he was going on the wrong trail, I would give him a hint. But he really didn't need a lot of guidance.
Yeah.
He kind of like figured it out himself.
You know, that's what I do. I figure it out. I go into the deep end and like, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to swim right now.
Like I said, I think he did a good job. This is something I would like to do on my channel more, just because I would like to see what my friends' like preferences is, what they pick, how they perceive my makeup or perceive makeup in their own ways, and just like, and then put it on my face, like their preferences, their ideas, what they like, or what they find interesting. Because like Austin didn't pick everything based off of like color. Sometimes he just based it off of like logic.
Yeah, well, there's, like I said, sometimes like when you're showing me and you're like, okay, these setting sprays, I'm like, okay, it's a setting spray. I'm not too worried about it. I get more worried as we're like, okay, we gotta pick a color, and I'm like, okay, you kind of want something in sync of some capacity. Yeah. That's when I started getting more worried about it. But like, if you're saying, oh, there's all like this kind of a different-ish shade of the same brown or black or clear, I'm like, whatever. I'll pick one, and hopefully that works for the best.
Yeah, like I said, for the most part, I think you did a pretty good job. There is one product I probably wouldn't have picked.
Okay, what would that be?
The brow pen you picked.
Okay.
It's a little... the only reason I wouldn't have picked it is because the brow gel you picked, for some reason, they have a weird reaction with each other.
Oh, okay.
And so it'll, like, ball up. Like, the pigment and the pen will ball up.
Because of those two together?
Yes.
Okay. So it just happens to be the brands don't like each other.
Yes. So, because it doesn't do it with my other ones.
Okay. So I picked the two that would be a problem. Good. I'm glad.
But I combed out the little like pigment balls. Like it's not.
But it's not a color thing. It's more of like those two just don't like each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't think I would have picked the Space Age, but it actually goes better with like what I'm wearing than I thought it would.
Yeah, I knew that. Sometimes you need someone of a different color perspective to just see that does work.
No, because it works a lot better than I thought it would. Like, I'm looking at the inner corner highlight I did right here with, like, the blue that we did.
Yeah, it's because of that, I guess, that orangey thing with that blue.
The orange with this, like, specific blue actually looks, like, really freaking good. Like, I am actually pretty impressed by how... Because that's not something I would have picked normally, but he picked it, and...
And in my defense,
I like it.
I didn't pick it because I thought it was orange. I picked it because I liked the container, and it was silver. I didn't know it would have that hue until you showed it to me after I picked it.
And look, I remember I told you I could make everything work. Everything works. Do I look like a clown?
No.
Besides the fact that I'm wearing blue eyeshadow.
You don't like blue eyeshadow?
No, I love blue eyeshadow.
Okay.
I just... I remember clowns have, like, blue eyeshadow, red cheeks, like, red lips. At least we didn't do that.
Okay.
But, like, I don't look bad. I actually look pretty good, so I'm not upset about what we chose. Well, you chose.
Yeah. Would you wear this now, afterwards, or you're like, this is good for one, and I don't think I'll try it again? Or...
I don't know if I'd put this on the cheek, the highlighter on the cheek.
Yeah.
But I think I would put it in the inner corner.
Okay.
Like, I think I would have
More
gone...
subtle, less... Okay.
Yeah, I would have gone with like maybe a different highlighter on the cheeks, just from my preferences.
Yeah.
And put this in the corner because I think it looks really stunning in the corner of this like look. So,
Okay.
I think that'd be my only thing that I would sit there and I'd be like, maybe it wouldn't have been my first choice, but it looks good.
Okay.
Like I'm not I'm not sitting there like, wow, I look a mess. I can't believe we're gonna go see that friend in like 15 minutes.
That's good.
And I wouldn't lie to you about that. You know I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, no, I like it.
Okay.
It looks good. But that's it. Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. Austin appreciates it too.
Thank you for having me on in the first interview. I hope it goes good. I hope you do more of these.
I hope so too. I would really love to do this more. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever you can afford kind of deal. And make sure to check me out on Instagram. It is CAPT_IVATING_makeup. So captivating makeup with 2 underscores. And I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Say bye, Austin.
Bye.
I thought you were gonna go like, bye, Austin.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. It's intense. Say bye, Austin. Okay.
I said, say bye, Austin, and I was waiting for you to go like, bye, Austin. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.